Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I go by Lune, and what I'm creating today for you is a ASMR style energy work by proxy session, which you could use just to chill out to, give yourself a moment to think, self-reflect, process, take a breath, right? And also use as a by proxy energy work session if you're open to that. And all you have to do is set an intention to receive on behalf of your highest and greatest good. Okay? We're always completely honoring your free will and what you're comfortable with here. So before we get started with our candle and intention, this is the session that I'm making in correspondence with the present zodiac cycle season that we're in. And if you're watching this at a different time, that doesn't matter. It's just a source of inspiration. But for those of us who are kind of swimming in the same linear currents as far as time goes, and if you're watching this in Cancerian season, I just want to say happy birthday, Cancer. I'm also a Cancer sun, so happy birthday to us. And as the moon is the ruler of Cancer, I thought it would be appropriate to first utilize my tuning forks that are of the frequency of the moon. It's a moon tuning fork. So I know some people too aren't really fans of tuning forks, so it's a nice way to kind of get it in the beginning, and then you won't have any surprises later. But the point is to attune here to the subconscious. Cancerian energy, water sign energy as well, is very in like the emotional spaces, the sensing spaces, the clair XYZ spaces, subtle senses, mystic kind of realms. So I thought that connecting first and sort of attuning to the moon might be beneficial. I do just want to say this because I can't help myself. But it is important to make sure that we're balancing what we're focusing on and acknowledge what is of a lower energy and what is of a higher energy. And as beautiful as the moon is, and as hypnotic and as inspiring, it's a muse for, many, it is still of a lower frequency than that of what the earth is attuned to. And as we are earth's children, we are typically more comfortable with earth energy and higher vibrational energy. So it's not to say that focusing on the moon is going to mess us up, but it's just something to keep in mind, that you want to make sure you're broadening the elements of correspondence that you're focusing on, and do all of it with intention, I guess is the best way to say it, and awareness. But let's use our tuning fork. I took a little poll, a little unofficial poll, and most voted that they like the sound of the tuning fork hitting the striker, so I am going to be leaving that in. Here you can probably see it says moon there. And we're just going to move this through the etheric field a few times, and then focus specifically on the ears and above the head and work through. Okay, so connecting with the subconscious, connecting with the unseen, connecting with your inner knowing, your inner vision, your intuition, your inner creative forces. Anyone can be creative, we're all creative. But I think the water signs have a interesting, artsy, fantasy, dreamy connection to channeling or connecting with that creative fields. going to focus on the ears. So receiving from the moon inspiration, healing, illumination, or void and darkness, so that we can kind of find our own light. Perhaps facing our fears, facing some shadow, facing things we've banished that we want to call back and implement with love in our lives and the facets of us. Connecting with just that limitlessness of time and space and potential, the heights of your imagination, the depths of your emotions. Right, and then over the head, calling in the beauty of the moon, the mystery of the moon, honoring that within yourself as well, your beauty, your waning and waxing moods, your highs and lows. As the tides come in and out, so too do we. We have our ups and downs. We have our cycles. And let's just float a little in it. Let's just let it hit so we can clear this out and come back to surfing these waves. Expressing the mysteries of you, the depths of you, your emotions, your vulnerability, your needs, your self-understanding, your love. You. Just want to kind of acknowledge the correspondence here of the vessel, the container, the magic held within, the the power of the vessel that empowers anything inside of it. So making yourself a little money jar, or a little affirmation jar, or an intention jar, or something can be very powerful during this season or any time. Let's balance. Not quite. Very feminine. Incense matches, as Cancer is the mother of the zodiac, with that divine feminine energy. We'll light our candle on behalf of the highest and greatest good. And perfect comfort, perfect alignment. We're setting intentions to allow for flow, to allow for healing, to allow for, receiving as well, of course, comes with flow. For your manifestations, for your relationships, particularly things to do with the home, family, your feminine, and I don't mean that in a genderizing body sort of way or identity way, but the feminine qualities of self. Focusing on your healing, the implementation of tools you have acquired, or tools or practices that have supported you, things perhaps therapeutic to your soul. Right. And if you want to just have a look at this light, this glow, this flame. Sorry for looking in the viewfinder a little, just want to make sure. I'm not going to pour any wax on you. But just send in your wish, declare your will here. Let this move through you. Let's make this season as comfortable to sail, to navigate. Let's serve these waves that come up, no doubt, for the majority of us. Healing, inner child, self-parenting, self-mothering, connecting with the earth, connecting with the archetype of matter, the divine. And receive. Allow yourself to receive if you choose, of course. Use these desert rose incense ropes. Because I think a lot of us are going through it. I think a lot of us have big shifts in our life right now. I think a lot of us have experienced a real overload lately. So let's move gently through with a little smoke first. Just like this. the smoke through your energy field. Just lightening, just lifting, supporting perhaps a little clarity, a little time out, and honoring yourself, of course, and offering to you some energy to you to validate what you're going through, how you've been showing up for others, and just help you, support you in connecting to your authenticity. Just all around, completely enveloping you in care and comfort, cleansing, support, hug, nurturing as you nurture yourself. Through the meridians, and down the spine. Have you been relentlessly pouring from your own cup? Have you been giving or taking on that which really doesn't have that much to do with you, or that which you can't really, I don't want to say we shouldn't think about, like, not my problem. That's not what I mean, of course. I hope you can read between the lines in what I'm trying to say, but taking things on, taking on the stress of another or a situation which is not benefiting you nor them. It's one thing to be empathic, understanding, so that you can say, wow, I really agree. Yeah, this feels crappy. Let's change it. Or it's amazing to help and support others, but it's at what cost to your own battery, your reserve, and how can we give of ourselves, because that is who we are and that is our nature, and we should do that. But how can we do that and still be replenished, have a full tank, and receive the same reciprocation, in a sense, from the universe or from our own return to ourselves? So I have this absolutely lovely Western red cedar from Deshamsia. Their links are always below because I use their products so much and they're so lovely. Not sponsored, just love, love, love. So pure, so real. So I'm just going to spray down your spine. Front of your face, but this way. take a moment, just channeling through. By the way, the entire video is channeling through voice, through color, through intention, through frequency, and things that are unseen. Channeling through and through and through. That nurturing support, refueling your battery, replenishing your reserves. Calling through your connection, yes, to spirit, to the beyond, but also to matter, the life experience here, the nutrients you need, the sleep you need, the time for yourself, these resources, and just harmonizing, balancing your out and in, your giving and your receiving. Harmonized now, perfectly balanced, and navigating, operating, moving, showing up with this harmony, as well as cleansing, clearing, supporting this channel, this column, this pillar within you, this gateway, this ladder, this nexus point between what is tactile and what is unseen, clearing and not reconnecting, because you're not connected from it, but enhancing your connection to your own divine power, your own divine ports and connections to the unlimited love, unlimited source energy, unlimited universal energy. So as you do show up for others, and you are caring, and you are following your heart that way, remember that you can pull from the fields of limitlessness. You can direct from the bottomless, myriad field of benevolent fields, and show up with that constantly in your readily connected to, versus depleting your own battery, becoming drained. So we're just anchoring that memory that you have, that knowing, that resonance, anchoring that in to heart, to mind, to body. Okay. I do have some lovely stones to share with you. This is a selenite egg from Rachel and Josephine. Josephine, I'm pretty sure. I always call her Jay, and now I'm confused. Lovely, lovely mother and daughter. Selenite, named after the moon goddess Selene. And I love the story of the goddess Selene, because she's not a goddess of the moon. She is the moon. And I like that. I prefer that for some reason. So we have this gorgeousness, this egg, this, don't want to creep anyone out, right? But this womb, this safe space, this retreat, this creation. I'm just going to move this through, holding and channeling with the intentions of the correspondence here. And here, all negativity, we'll call it, all discomfort, all low vibrations, all that is untrue is dissolved, is released, is combusted, is transformed into nutrients, into consumption, into replenishment, into a lesson, into an upgrade of some kind, an activation, a rebirth, a reconnection to who you are, who you create yourself to be. Just moving through and through and through. We're going to focus in to the mind, just cleansing gently, 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 and supporting how you feel about, how you connect with yourself. How you preserve your energy and connect with the unlimited so easily. How you understand the laws of the universe and work with them and go with the flow, roll with the tides, how you surf the waves. And just remember, we've said it many times before, but just remember through all the dark times in your life, all the bottom of the ocean lows, all the dark nights of the soul, all the tangible, forget the word here, excuse me, but traumas we've experienced, traumatizing experiences. You've always been there for you, and you've always gotten yourself through, and you're strong, and you've done it so many times. So just want to honor you for nurturing yourself, you for getting you through. Might not have been pretty, might not have been easy, might be a continual work in progress, but it is the truth. Okay? And I'm just gonna rest this between your feet, okay? Okay, sorry. Just sidebar, a little technical. One of my lights just stopped working midway. So if it looks a little different, that's why. Here I have a really beautiful, I've shown this recently, but this is a black moonstone. It's gorgeous. And the birds outside are house sparrows, and they love my roof. So it's kind of fitting. I mean, they would be here anyway, but Cancerian season, home, house sparrows. Very cute. So this black moonstone I love to work with like shadow work, or what I would just call like deep work, deep processing, as well as supporting that like nurturing of it all. So it's exactly what we're going to connect with. We're going to validate the shadow. We're going to validate the discomfort. We're going to validate the fear. We're going to validate the self-hatred, not to lift it up, to witness it so it can move on, but we just want to kind of connect and nurture all of us, all of the pieces of us, all the facets of us. So channeling through, moving through, first the column, the stairwell of yourself, accessing all facets, all aspects, the complete, whole, limitless, paradoxal, dualistic nature of you and your very existence. Connecting, moving through out to the masculine qualities of you, the masculine aspects, your actions, how you show up, how you express, how you communicate. The feminine, how you receive, how you, what's the word, like how you intuit, how you're intuitive. That void space where brilliant ideas are born from, and just harmonizing through and through and through and through, blending through and through and through and through, balancing. Very chariot here, right? Very letting the forces of yourself pull you forward. Brave, bold, eager. Right. Okay. This is Larimar. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. I'm going to move this through the third eye, the subtle senses, the claircognizance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and the XYZs that I often forget about or forget how to pronounce. We're going to just move this through, creating a little softness here. Just tuning in, empowered by, supporting your dreams, your dreamy space. Your surrender to the tides, to the ups and downs, to the waves, to the currents, using them for your, in an empowered way, for your benefit, so to speak. Tuning in, floating on the foam, diving down to the bottom, to the trenches, making friends with the octopi and eels and jellyfish and crabs. Finding what works for you when the tide does take you out, or it's so heavy we do sink. Something will be there, a realization, a person, an appreciation, something will be there. And I hope I don't sound insensitive when I say that. Something will be there though, even in the midnight zone. Just setting that intention, channeling through to anchor in your awareness that there is always something you will discover. There's always something, whether it's a tool, a technique, whatever it is, there's always something in those dark or turbulent waters. Just like in a video game, you're collecting things along your mission. And you'll pass them on, and they'll serve you again. And they'll help you rise, like catching a bubble, up to the shore again, up to the foamy, more surface layers of your experiences. I hate to say sorry for things I can't control, but there's obviously someone outside doing some work, and I don't want to restart my video later. I kind of have to take advantage of the time that I have, so please forgive and know that I'm I am working on it. I have some things in line, but all divine timing. So in the Patreon card reading that we did this month, thank you for those who are joining me over there. This one was a very emotional one, so thank you so much. This is the only stone that I didn't share, but I was more guided to bring in now. This is a chalcedony. I think sometimes they're called chalcedony roses. You can see the back. And very feminine, right? But I wanted to call it forth here to acknowledge the power in your softness, the power in your receptivity, the power of your ability that you've always had to connect with the unlimited nature of this universe, the quantum realms, the subtle realms, the astral realms, to move things, to make things happen, to heal, to journey. And we're just going to call that in as well. So there's a lot of just gentle waves here. Waves, 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 waves. Just moving through your energy body in this session. It's not weak to be soft. It's not weak to be vulnerable. There's power in your vulnerability. There's power in your care. I hear so often how we get mad at people where I've done this for you, you haven't done this for me, or I've done, even if it's not that kind of energy, but like, oh, I do so much, but no, I don't really get it back. We don't always get it back from the person, and we have to make the discernment to know, am I doing this because I want to, or am I doing this from some sort of expectation of return? Everything is quite nuanced, obviously, but never shame yourself for doing what comes natural to you, especially if it's loving or caring or generous or vulnerable. Again, all in discernment, but still. This is a powerful season, very powerful season. Here we have our little moon representation. This gorgeous selenite. And we're going to keep calling through that power, that illumination now. We've worked with the shadow a little. We've worked with the darker things, right? That doesn't mean bad. But that aspect. And now we're going to call through to illuminate, to bring light, awareness, knowledge, understanding to your experience, to you, what you're going through right now, what you're learning, what you're witnessing. These karmas playing out, these workings through decades, through, what's the word? Through lineage, I guess. Through generations. You're seeing it. You're breaking patterns. You're breaking disempowered things. You're clearing karma. You're making changes because you are aware of your free will. You are not subject to anything. You don't operate like a robot based on some star system or history or karma. You are unique. You are sovereign. You are independent. And you are the one who feels this force so intensely, because it's you that's making these great changes. You that's cutting a new path, a new groove, a new channel. You that's remembering and returning to your full empowerment. And we're just going to illuminate and hold and illuminate. Facing it all, facing your fear, facing these challenges, and knowing that there's nothing to be afraid of. Because everything is inside of you. You are like the seed of all, the seed of all here. And everything exists within you. And what is there to be afraid of outside of you if it exists within you already? Now, of course, be safe, protect yourself. But I mean, from a spiritual aspect, from a emotional aspect, and things like that, energies, there's nothing you need to be afraid of because you are everything. And some might say, well, I'm afraid of myself, and that's very valid. But maybe face that too. Shine a light on it. Stand under the full moon. Let it show you what this is. Let it show you who you are. Through and through and through and all around you. Connecting with those cycles. They aren't cycles of repetition. They're cycles of development. Swirling all around you. Moving through you. Harmonizing the internal, the mind, and the external, the body, the operations, the systems, the channels. Time for yourself. Let things from your subconscious come up to you now. Let them speak to you. Stand in your power, perfectly balanced. With all your tools, all your knowledge, all your truth and authenticity, all your vulnerabilities, worn, and they protect you. Because it's so real, it's so raw, that there's nothing more powerful. A little more spray. Little Western red cedar. As well as a little of this Venus oil, as I said, to balance the I won't say low vibrations of the moon, but to balance what I was speaking of in the intro. So yeah. Just a little. It's a nice combo. Just heating this up. We're just gonna move it through your field. Down deep to your Earth Star, up and up and up to your Soul Star, moving through all the points of your consciousness and all around you to envelop, to hold you in a space of replenishment, of harmony, of empowerment, of reflection, of understanding a certain sort of like maturity. And anchored in. Alright. Thank you so very much for joining me in this session. It's extra special as a Cancer myself. And I just want to thank so much those of you, especially, everyone who's watched this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're liking, commenting, subscribing, oh my god, like triple thank you. If you're in Patreon, quadruple thank you. Just thank you so much for the support. I have so many things I want to do with this channel. I'm a little bit limited at the moment in terms of like resources and things, but that's okay. There are things that it's always good to kind of want more, like see it bigger, see different things. So I'm excited for things to come. But just want to thank you so much to those in Patreon, because you're always very supportive, but particularly with what I've been kind of going through lately, you've been so supportive and caring and leaving me just such heartfelt messages. And I just want to truly thank you. It means so much to me, my soul family here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. From the very bottom of my heart, truly and deeply, I bow to the divine in you and and to this beautiful connection that we share. So very much love to you, my friends. Of course, and namaste.